Okay, let's unpack this. Today we are taking a deep dive into some truly creative and practical ideas for supporting and strengthening marriages. We're pulling from a fantastic source, the book 51 Creative Ideas for Marriage Mentors by Doctors Les Chess and Leslie Parrott.
That's right. And you can really think of this book as, well, an idea box. It's
Hmm.
specifically for anyone involved in marriage mentoring, whether formally or, informally. The parrots frame it all around a core concept they call the marriage mentoring triad.
The triad. Okay, what does that look like?
It's basically a way of categorizing where a couple might be in their journey. First, there's the stage of preparing couples. These are typically engaged or maybe newly married folks, helping them build a strong foundation.
Got it. Preparing.
Then there's maximizing couples. They're doing pretty well, but they want to move from just, good to truly great, aiming for that top tier, maybe the top 10% of really connected, happy marriages.
Okay, good to go.
And finally, there's repairing couples. These are couples who are, well, in distress. They need significant help navigating challenges. The book offers ideas that apply across the board, plus specific suggestions tailored to each of those stages.
Right. So our mission today is to crack open this idea box, pull out some of the most maybe surprising, practical, and impactful suggestions for you listening. Maybe you're a mentor or thinking about it, or maybe just curious about powerful ways to invest in relationships. This isn't meant to be like a rigid prescription, right? But more catalyst for thinking creatively about supporting marriages. Let's jump right in. Let's explore some foundational ideas the parents offer that can apply to any couple, no matter which stage they're in. Where do we even start with building that connection?
Well, they suggest something simple, but honestly, quite powerful. It's called the 30-second rule, the core idea. Say something genuinely encouraging or offer a sincere compliment to the couple you're mentoring within the first 30 seconds of meeting them.
30 seconds. Wow, that's quick.
It is, yeah. But it immediately sets a positive, affirming tone. And here's something really interesting they mention. Research apparently indicates that written encouragement is often perceived as more genuine than spoken.
Really? More genuine.
Yeah. So another idea is just sending a handwritten note. I mean, think about it. In our digital world, getting a personal letter.
Yep.
It's incredibly rare. Less than 4% of mail today, they say. Receiving one just feels special, impactful.
That personal touch really does cut through the noise.
Yeah.
Okay, now, for anyone mentoring, trust has got to be paramount.
Absolutely. Non-negotiable. Establishing trust through confidentiality right up front. Mentors have to assure the couple that what they share stays private. But the parents take it a step further. They talk about something called marital gossip.
Marital gossip. Okay, what's that distinct from?
Well, it's not just about the mentor keeping secrets. It's about helping the couple understand the difference between, say, seeking support from a trusted friend, which can be healthy, and just venting or complaining to others about specific behaviors of their spouse.
Talking about your partner negatively to others.
Precisely. They argue it's really unhealthy. It erodes loyalty within the marriage. They share this powerful idea. Think of yourself as your partner's
Publicist, like promoting the good stuff.
Exactly. Highlighting the good things about them to others instead of dwelling on the bad. And for the venting that, let's face it, sometimes needs to happen, they strongly caution it's only appropriate for a spouse to vent to the mentors if both partners are present.
Both present. Why is that so critical?
Otherwise, it creates this unhealthy triangle. It pulls the mentor into the couple's issues in a way that bypasses one's spouse. It damages trust.
That boundary is crucial. Definitely keeps things cleaner. What about more tangible ways mentors can show they care, that they're invested?
Several really practical ideas here. One is super simple. Just place a photo of the couple you're mentoring somewhere visible in your home.
A photo.
Yeah. It serves as a tangible daily reminder to pray for them, think about their relationship. Some mentors even make taking a photo at the first meeting, like standard practice.
That's a thoughtful visual reminder.
It really is. And maybe less sentimental, but just as practical. Keep their contact info handy. Phone numbers, emails, their anniversary date. Make it easily accessible.
So you actually use it.
Exactly. When it's effortless to reach out, you're much more likely to send that quick text or an email or remember their anniversary with a card or a call. Putting it on the calendar seems obvious, but you got to do it.
Okay, building connection, showing care. What about digging a bit deeper? Is there like a single powerful question mentors can use to prompt real self-reflection for the couple?
Oh, yeah. They propose what they call the one question that could change their marriage. And it's incredibly simple, almost deceptively so. It's just, how would I like to be married to me?
Wow. Okay. That flips the script entirely, puts the focus on your contribution.
Totally. It forces each person to step outside themselves and evaluate their own role. How would they rate themselves as a partner? Are they easy to live with? Are they enriching their spouse's life? What kind of marital weather do they create? They even connect this to, well, biblical wisdom. Things like not comparing yourself to others, practicing forgiveness, not being easily offended, prioritizing unity,
Mhm.
controlling anger, speaking truth in love.
All qualities that make someone a better partner.
Exactly. Qualities that make you someone you'd want to be married to. And a challenging but valuable application. Mentors asking this weekly, based on the past week, how would you have enjoyed being married to you?
Oof. That puts the responsibilities squarely on the individual, doesn't it?
It really does.
Okay, so beyond direct interaction, how can mentors use external resources? Things outside their conversations.
Yeah, good question. They suggest sharing helpful articles or emails on relevant topics, and it doesn't have to be just about marriage.
Like what?
Could be personal finance, time management, maybe even a great recipe. Anything relevant to the couple's life stage. Just forwarding something you read shows you're thinking of them. Another idea. Suggest local marriage seminars or maybe guest speakers. You could even attend together if that feels right. Checking speaker websites keeps you in the loop. They also mention being aware of relevant TV programs or documentaries, sort of a what's on approach. You could even record something to watch and discuss together. Use media as a springboard.
Using media to spark deeper talks. I like
Agree.
that. The source also touches on faith-based connections, right?
Yes, definitely. For couples who might not have a church background, they suggest, gently opening the door to church, inviting them without pressure.
Gently being the key word there.
Absolutely. The key is framing it not as an obligation, but as sharing something genuinely valuable and life-giving in the mentor's own lives. It's an invitation to experience something meaningful, not a requirement for being mentored.
Sharing something you cherish, not trying to convert. That distinction feels really important. Okay, going back to basics. What about simple hospitality?
Oh, old-fashioned hospitality is highlighted as essential, just inviting the couple into the mentor's home for a meal or maybe just dessert and coffee.
Why is being in the home so significant?
It creates a relaxed, informal environment, and it gives the mentor couple a natural window into seeing how a healthy, established marriage functions day to day, just observing the interaction. A simple spaghetti dinner is suggested, low stress. Some mentors even cook the meal with the couple. That shared activity can really ease conversation and build connection.
Yeah, I can see how being in someone's home feels different than a coffee shop or an office. What about the idea of the couple serving others together?
This is a really profound point. They title it Double Your Serve. They bring in Dietrich Bonhoeffer, the theologian.
Bonhoeffer, right?
Yeah, who wrote about marriage having this higher dignity and power. He described couples as being at a post of responsibility toward the world and mankind. It challenges that common view that marriage is solely about the two people.
So marriage as a unit that serves the world, that's a big idea.
It is. The concept is that doing good for others together, as a couple volunteering, helping a neighbor, supporting a cause, builds incredible intimacy and shared purpose. They suggest exploring how the mentoree couple can practice shared service, maybe even undertaking a mission of service in secret, where their kindness is known only to them.
Like a shared Tico project.
Exactly. As, King Solomon said, two are better than one, and Paul encouraged believers to spur each other on toward love and good deeds. Serving others as a team reinforces that we identity.
That really shifts the focus, doesn't it? From inward to outward, giving the relationship a larger purpose. Powerful thought.
It really is.
Okay, let's transition now. Let's talk about couples who are just starting out, the engaged or newlywed couples, that preparing stage of the triad. What are some unique needs and powerful ideas for this group?
Well, a really foundational step is helping them identify their top 10 needs. The parrots provide a list of common relationship needs like admiration, affection, commitment, conversation, financial support, honesty, intimacy, personal space, respect, shared activities, plus space to add their own. The exercise involves each partner individually rating and ranking these needs.
Okay, they rate them individually
Yeah.
and then discuss them together.
Exactly. And the discussion with the mentors is crucial here. It helps couples articulate their deepest needs and maybe more importantly, clarify what those needs mean to them individually.
Because intimacy might mean different things to different people.
Precisely. Or financial support. Getting that clarity early on can prevent a lot of future misunderstandings.
That seems like a vital preventative step. What about building a strong, lasting foundation for the future? How do they frame that?
They use this beautiful analogy from nature, redwood trees. titled Help Them Sink Their Roots Down Deep.
Redwoods. Okay, how does that work?
Well, redwood roots are surprisingly shallow, right? But when they grow together, their roots spread out wide and they intertwine. That gives them mutual strength, stability against storms.
Interconnectedness for strength.
Exactly. The idea is that marriage soulmates become stronger together, like these redwoods. And the most important roots they emphasize are those established in God and His Word. That's what enables the couple to bear lasting fruit. As a tangible illustration, some mentors even plant seedlings with the couple, a symbol of their shared growth.
That visual for interdependence is really powerful. Okay, a common source of tension, especially for new couples, in-laws. How do they suggest handling that?
Ah, yes, the in-laws. They suggest cautiously connecting with mentorees' parents, and that word cautiously is definitely key.
Cautiously connecting.
Okay. With the couple's explicit permission, mentors might make contact with the parents. Just a simple hello, express how much they enjoy mentoring their children. This can give mentors some helpful insight into family of origin dynamics.
This sounds like it could get messy really fast.
Oh, it absolutely can. Mentors must establish and maintain crystal clear boundaries. The biggest danger is triangulation.
Triangulation, like getting caught in the middle.
Exactly. Parents trying to use the mentor as a go-between, passing messages, complaining about the spouse, trying to get the mentor to influence their child. If mentors aren't super careful to protect the couple's confidentiality and avoid getting pulled into those dynamics, they'll lose the couple's trust instantly. So it's a delicate move, only with clear permission and very firm boundaries.
Right. Maintaining those boundaries protects the mentoring relationship itself.
Got it. Any practical, maybe low-cost ways to support couples starting out? They might be on a tight budget. Yeah, coupon cutting is a simple but thoughtful one. Just clipping coupons for things the couple actually uses, groceries, household stuff, maybe pizza delivery, and passing them along.
As long as they're relevant coupons.
Yes, exactly. It's a practical gift that shows you care about their everyday needs, their finances. A small gesture, but it can have a real impact.
Makes sense. How about giving them a taste of future family life, even indirectly?
They suggest considering a babysitting opportunity. Now, this depends on the situation. If the mentors have kids, or maybe friends with kids, they might arrange for the newlywed couple to babysit together.
To get some realistic experience, man.
Yes, exactly. It can offer a realistic glimpse into the demands of parenting, spark important conversations between them about potential parenting styles, expectations, how they'd handle challenges. Debriefing with the mentors afterward is key to process what they learned, but they stress this shouldn't feel like asking for free childcare. It has to come naturally, be framed as a learning experience.
Right, the focus is the insight, not the free labor. Okay, going back to in-laws, is there a more structured way to explore that dynamic with the couple?
Yes, definitely. They offer the in-law inventory. It's basically a set of sentence completion prompts designed to open up discussion about in-law relationships, potential disagreements.
What kind of prompts?
Things like, in relating to my in-laws, or I feel that my spouse is, or questions about balancing time, holidays, feeling pulled between loyalties. It helps couples articulate feelings constructively.
That sounds like a really helpful tool, uncovering potential blind spots or unspoken tensions. Any other low-cost gift ideas for this stage?
They mention a cookie kit. It's basically a little gift basket. Several baking items, a recipe, the ingredients needed to make cookies.
Fun.
Yeah, some mentors even make baking together during a session a kind of tradition with the couple. Maybe try a different recipe each time. A sweet way to build shared memories.
I like that. The source also brings up charting their spiritual journey together. How does that work?
Yes, helping couples understand their individual spiritual paths and how they want to merge them. That's important, especially if they have different backgrounds or are new to exploring faith together. They suggest using a questionnaire to guide discussions. Things like praying together, studying the Bible, church attendance, agreeing on theology, tithing, praying for each other. It helps them figure out where they are and plan how they'll grow spiritually as a couple.
Those are big conversations, ones many couples might not have explicitly before marriage.
Precisely. And looking ahead to future milestones, they suggest make their first Noel one to remember. The idea is creating a first Christmas together box.
The Christmas box.
Yeah. You fill it with things like ornaments, maybe lights, stockings, festive books, stuff you can buy cheap during post-Christmas sales. Then gift it to the couple after Thanksgiving. It prompts them to talk about how they want to celebrate holidays together, establish their own unique traditions as a new family unit.
Thinking ahead, building those shared experiences and traditions. Smart. How about exploring the roles they expect each other to play in the marriage? That seems huge.
Oh, critical. Explore their roles. The parrots use sentence stems here, like husbands are, wives are, marriages.
Hmm.
Couples first complete these based on their own beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
Then, and this is key, they write down how they think their mother and father would have answered the same prompts.
Comparing their views to their parents' perceived views.
Exactly. Comparing those answers can uncover unconscious marital roles and influences inherited from their families of origin. It helps them make conscious choices about the roles they want to build in their own marriage, rather than just defaulting to what they saw growing up.
Family history has such a powerful, often subtle influence, doesn't it?
It really, really can. Another critical point for newlyweds, note the little things. They call it the honeymoon habit. They use this analogy. In marriage, being bitten by a mosquito, a little thing can sometimes matter more than confronting an elephant, a big issue. Honeymoons are naturally full of intentionality about the little things, but that fades.
Like everyday politeness just dropping off.
Exactly. That's a big one they highlight. Politeness, please, thank you, often one of the first casualties, even though research suggests many newlyweds are more polite to strangers than each other.
Ouch. Sad, but probably true.
Right. The goal is helping couples make intentionality about these small, positive interactions a lifelong habit. Think of greeting your spouse with a hug and a smile when they get home instead of immediately hitting them with a chore list. It sets a tone.
That intentionality in the small moments definitely adds up. Okay, finally for this section, what about helping them visualize the long-term future, way down the road?
Envision their golden anniversary. This is simply asking the couple to imagine their marriage 50 years from now. What will they be reminiscing about? Where will they live? What will they be doing? What specific memories will they treasure?
Making that distant vision feel more real.
Exactly. It encourages them to be more intentional now about charting a course towards that desired future. Mentors can even give them a card with a relevant scripture about hope or building wisely.
Making that distant vision feel real gives purpose to the effort they put in today.
Precisely. Turns an abstract goal into something tangible to work towards.
Okay, let's shift gears now. Let's talk about couples who are doing pretty well, but they have this desire to reach what the parents call greatness, aiming for that top-tier, deeply content, happy, helping each other grow. How can mentors help them reach that next level?
Yeah, this is exciting stuff. A powerful starting point is helping them dream big. Encourage the couple to really articulate their shared dreams for the future. The parents borrow that business concept, the BHH big, hairy, audacious goal, and apply it to marriage. Where do they want to be as a couple in 1 year, 5 years, 10, 25?
Setting a really high shared vision.
Exactly. They quote Thoreau, if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams. The insight here is that consciously dreaming about your shared future actually shapes the quality of your present. It's like that paraphrase of Proverbs where there is no vision, the people perish.
Yeah.
And they emphasize dreaming godly dreams, aligning aspirations with what's true, noble, right, pure, like Philippians encourages.
So not just any dream, but one with purpose and values. What about staying inspired along the way, keeping that flame lit?
That leads right into find inspiration around you. Couples in really great marriages often have this knack for finding inspiration in everyday life. Mentors can help couples cultivate this by having them reflect on personal inspirational moments, things they read, heard, saw, people they met, events. Then brainstorm. How can we intentionally bring more of that into our marriage? What places, people, activities heighten their inspiration quotient as a couple? They even suggest making inspiration check-ins a regular part of mentoring sessions.
And making the pursuit of inspiration a conscious shared practice? That's interesting. What about shaking up the dynamic of the mentoring relationship itself? Can that help?
Yeah, there's a creative idea called turning the tables. Once the mentoring relationship is solid, built on trust, mentors can occasionally ask the mentorees for advice.
Asking the mentees for advice, that feels backward.
It sounds it, right. But it works on a few levels. First, it fulfills that universal human need the mentors have to feel needed, capable, they get to give back. Second, it gives the mentors really valuable, authentic insight into the couple's problem-solving style, how they interact tackling a challenge together. It strengthens the bond through mutual help.
Oh, okay. So it builds them up and gives you insight.
Yeah. Exactly. The key is for the mentors to listen attentively, really engage with the advice, and show genuine appreciation.
That flips the script in a really positive way.
Yeah.
Are there simple questions that can help couples clarify their values at this good to great stage?
A really thought-provoking one is just asking more time or more money. Posing that simple question sparks a discussion that gets right to the heart of their values and priorities right now. They mention surveys showing interesting results depending on how you frame it, like an extra hour a week versus a raise. They connect this to Scott Peck's work on discipline, especially delayed gratification, and how that relates to decisions about both time and money.
It helps them see where their priorities actually lie, beyond just saying it.
Exactly. What do they truly value? How do they allocate their resources? What about reflecting on key influences in their lives, people who shaped them? Yeah, the most influential person, exercise. Each spouse identifies one person outside their immediate family who had the most significant positive impact on them. Then they try to guess who their partner will choose.
A guessing game component. Fun.
A little bit. Then they share their choices and explain why that person was so influential. The deeper discussion is about how these individuals shaped them and consequently influenced their marriage. As a follow-up, mentors can encourage them to write a thank you note to that person if possible. Reinforces gratitude.
Acknowledging those who've shaped them, even indirectly. That's powerful. What about a simple daily practice? Something to boost intentionality in their connection day to day.
Homeward bound. This is super simple. Take just 3-4 minutes before you reunite after being apart for the day.
Before walking in the door.
Exactly. Each spouse takes that moment to visualize their partner's day. Imagine how they might be feeling. Consciously think about what they want to say or how they want to act when they first connect.
So a moment of mindfulness before the physical reunion.
Totally. It's a small but intentional practice, transitioning from their individual worlds back into their shared one. Choosing empathy and presence before the demands of home life kick in. It counters that tendency to rush in and start talking about tasks or problems.
That seems like a great way to set a positive tone for the evening. How about expressing love?
Yeah.
Any creative ways to go beyond just, I love you?
They suggest I love you more than. This challenges couples to create unique, meaningful comparisons specific to their partner.
Instead of generic cliches.
Right. Instead of more than words can say, maybe more than a hole-in-one for a golfer, or more than a perfect Maui sunset, if that's a shared memory. The idea is to brainstorm maybe 7 of these comparisons over a week and deliver one to their spouse each day. Comparisons establish value, right? This makes it personal.
Making love feel really seen and deeply known. I like that. Okay, decision-making. It's constant in marriage. How can couples refine that process?
Decisions. Since like a quarter of couple conversations involve making decisions, exploring their process is vital for couples aiming for greatness. Ask them to reflect on 3 important decisions from the past year or 2, and 3 more recent ones from the past week. The focus isn't the outcome, but how they reached consensus. What worked, what didn't. Helps them identify and hone their decision-making style as a team.
Making an often unconscious process conscious and improvable. For couples with children, what about the impact their relationship has on the kids?
Oh, huge. Monkey see, monkey do. The parents state it strongly. The greatest wedding gift parents give their kids is their own healthy marriage. Because kids learn about marriage by watching, the exercise. Ask couples to honestly reflect, what would our children have learned about marriage by watching us over the past month? Then, maybe more powerfully, what do we want them to learn about marriage from observing us over the next month? Encourages conscious modeling.
That adds a layer of purpose beyond just their own happiness. Practical challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Expensive babysitting can kill date nights. Any solutions?
Starting a date club is a fantastic practical solution. The model involves, say, 3 other couples. They rotate babysitting duties on Saturday nights.
Rotate. How does that work?
Each couple takes 1 Saturday night a month to watch all the kids. That guarantees the other 3 couples a date night. So each couple gets 3 date nights a month with free childcare. They outline the logistics, finding couples with similar age kids, compatible parenting styles, living nearby, agreeing on rules, and crucially, use that date time for the marriage connection. Fun, not errands.
A structured way to prioritize couple time. Essential for moving from good to great. Scott Peck's idea of delayed gratification came up again.
Yes, pay now, play later, presented as a key principle for thriving couples. Delayed gratification, Peck argued, isn't just about money. It's scheduling the necessary pain effort, discipline first, to enhance the later pleasure. Applies to all of living well.
And how does this apply specifically to a great marriage?
Well, practicing delayed gratification builds resilience, shared accomplishment. It counters impulsivity, that desire for instant gratification that can undermine long-term connection. Mentors can ask couples how they practice this principle, individually and together. Where could they benefit from a pay now, play later approach? How does this discipline actually strengthen their bond? Like the proverb, the plant of patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet.
Discipline for deeper connection. Okay, finally, for couples aiming for greatness.
Yeah.
What's the big question?
This is a weekly exercise, takes maybe 10 minutes. One spouse asks the other, simple and direct, what could I do today or tomorrow that would make me a better husband or wife? The partner listens, then notes down one specific area for improvement and one specific thing the asking spouse is already doing well, with a recent example. Then they share notes calmly, objectively.
One positive, one growth area.
Sure. Yes. Key is focusing on one actionable thing for growth, balanced with positive reinforcement. And the suggestion is given during the exercise, then intentionally left there. No nagging later. They note this is a valuable habit for mentors, too.
That takes courage and humility. But focusing on one actionable item with positive reinforcement sounds really effective.
It's designed for continuous, gentle growth.
Exactly.
Okay, let's move now to the final stage in the triad. Working with couples who are really in distress, needing significant help. This is the repairing stage. Where do mentors even begin when couples are facing serious challenges?
Yeah, this is tough territory. A crucial first step is taking inventory. They provide a list of common threats or challenges, frequent conflict, financial pressures, power struggles, busy schedules, maybe even infidelity or illness. The couple checks off what applies. But, and this is critical, it's equally important to list things that are good for their marriage right now. What strengths still exist?
So acknowledging the pain points, but also identifying existing strengths, even small ones. Exactly. The goal is to clearly name the difficulties and prevent the session from just becoming a negative gripe session. You have to intentionally focus on what's still working, what positives remain. Sharing both lists gives a balanced picture, reveals the challenges, but also reminds them of their resources.
What do the parrots identify as the single biggest problem area for distressed couples? The most common thing.
Overwhelmingly, it's communication breakdown. They call it steer clear of the #1 marriage problem, and they offer this stark statistic. 98% of good communication is actually listening, not just expressing yourself.
98% listening.
Wow. They reference biblical wisdom too. Proverbs saying answering before listening is folly. James urging us to be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to anger.
So listening is the primary skill to focus on here.
Yes, and specifically active listening. Really engaging to understand fully, not just waiting for your turn or planning your rebuttal. Mentors can demonstrate this. Role-play active listening themselves, then coach the couple on a relatively low-stakes topic. Focus on encouraging them when they listen well, gently guiding when they slip. They also suggest exploring when each partner feels most unheard and how they might signal that need.
Modeling this skill first seems essential when things are tense. Attitude must also play a huge role when a couple is in distress, right? It feels like it could make or break things.
Absolutely enormous role. Turn Murphy's Law on its ear. They quote, Chuck Swindoll attitude is more important than facts, circumstances, failures. Mentors can help couples see the contrast between operating under Murphy's Law, if anything can go wrong it will, and consciously adopting a more positive attitude. An optimistic law. If anything can go right, it will.
But how does applying that actually help a marriage in crisis? Isn't it just denial?
That's the counter-argument, sure. But the parrot's point is that a good attitude actually opens the door for optimism. And it's optimism that allows distressed couples to even see potential opportunities for repair, solutions they'd be blind to if stuck in a negative, hopeless mindset. Without that shift, the situation feels truly hopeless.
That perspective shift sounds absolutely crucial for finding any way forward. Okay, any exercises that help bring gratitude back into focus, especially when daily frustrations are just overwhelming everything else.
Yes. What would you miss? This is sobering, but really powerful. It starts by reflecting on losing a loved one unexpectedly reminds us to value today. Then it gets personal. Ask each spouse, what would you miss most if your partner were suddenly gone? Their thoughts, their humor, a feeling they provide, security. Mentors can share their own answers here too. Vulnerability helps.
The goal isn't morbid, but...
Right. Not dwelling on loss, but using that stark reality to cultivate profound gratitude for their spouse today. Cuts through the conflict noise, like the song lyric, you never know what you've got till it's gone.
That's a potent way to reprioritize what truly matters. What about those essential, but often really difficult phrases that need to be spoken for repair to happen?
They call them the 2 most overlooked romantic phrases. Ready, I was wrong, and will you forgive me?
Romantic. That's an interesting label.
They call them romantic because they require humility. And humility is absolutely essential for climbing out of the deep hole of marital distress. Asking couples how often they use these phrases, the impact it has, It can be eye-opening. The focus is encouraging each individual to increase their own use of these phrases, not blaming their partner for not saying them.
Humility is the foundation for repair. Makes sense. How should the mentor's mindset impact their work with these distressed couples? Does their belief matter?
Hugely. Give them a reputation to uphold. They reference research showing people tend to perform according to the expectations placed on them. If mentors genuinely believe in the couple's potential to heal and grow and communicate that belief, it can actually instill that ability in the couple.
So, speaking that belief out loud.
Yeah. Saying things like, we believe in your strength as a couple, and we think this is the week you'll see progress because you're focusing on empathy. It empowers them to live up to that positive reputation. Like Goethe said, treat people as if they already were what they could be.
Believing in their capacity for change is a powerful gift in itself. Is there a way to find strengths, even when communication feels completely broken down? It must feel like there are none.
Yes, it can feel that way. That's where the couple's communication strengths finder comes in. When couples are distressed, everyone tends to focus only on what's wrong. This tool shifts the focus. What do they still do well, even if it's small? They provide a list of communication skills: listening without interrupting, staying on topic, being ready to apologize, controlling emotions, etc. Each partner checks off what they believe they do well and what they believe your partner does well.
And what does this process reveal?
Well, discussing the items checked both identifies their current communication strengths, things they can build on. That provides courage, hope. Items checked neither point to the deficits, yes, but the strengths give them a foundation. It acknowledges the struggle, but emphasizes strengths exist and can grow. Mentors use this to guide them. Leverage what works, improve what doesn't.
Focusing on building on the positive, even when things are really tough. Any creative ways to encourage more intentional positive interaction when things are super tense?
Explore the lesson of an old farm couple. It's this charming story about an established couple who developed simple, nonverbal signals for when they needed encouragement. He'd put his hat on the table, she'd wear a specific yellow apron.
A signal for needing support.
Exactly. Mentors can share the story and discuss establishing similar, specific signals for the mentoree couple, maybe lighting a candle, using certain placemats, a code word. Modeling this concept first helps. It gives couples a way to ask for encouragement without words, especially when talking is hard. Fosters positive connection.
A tangible way to ask for support without necessarily triggering conflict. Smart. How about addressing that tendency to blame each other? That must be huge in distressed couples.
Oh yeah. Avoid the blame game. They discuss how prevalent the culture of victimization is. People avoiding responsibility, pointing fingers at, Adam blaming Eve. Distressed couples fall hard into this pattern, blaming the partner, circumstances, the past.
So how do mentors help them move past that? Seems ingrained.
Gently bring the societal tendency to their attention. Use non-threatening examples. Then pivot hard to the positive. Ask for examples of when they have taken responsibility or adjusted to things they couldn't control. Where do they see their spouse demonstrating personal responsibility? The conversation explores practical ways to cultivate a blame-free relationship. Remind them that life involves personal choices, and taking responsibility is actually the path to freedom. Empowerment. They reference Galatians 5.13 here.
Shifting from blame to personal agency, okay? What about the heavy feeling of guilt? That can really weigh couples down, right?
Definitely. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Spouses can use guilt as a weapon sometimes, but the parents point out a lot of the guilt people feel, especially in marital distress, is false guilt.
False guilt. How's that different from real guilt?
It's guilt driven by an internal judge, distorted thinking, maybe emotions lying to you rather than actual wrongdoing against clear principles. Psalm 40 talks about being overwhelmed by troubles clouding our vision. Mentors help couples distinguish true guilt, where you did wrong, need to make amends, versus false guilt, needless self-punishment, unrealistic standards. This is crucial for avoiding self-flagellation and, importantly, for giving each other grace.
Giving grace instead of piling on guilt.
Yes. Ask when they're tempted to make their partner feel guilty. Explore real situations where giving grace could make a difference. Connect it to God's grace, too. Romans 8, no condemnation in Christ. Frame this as an opportunity for real healing.
That's a deeply important area to navigate carefully. Okay, what about something lighter? To help couples in distress reconnect with what they actually enjoy together. It can't all be heavy lifting.
Good point. What's your favorite? When couples are distressed, their world often shrinks just to the problems. A simple, casual question like, what's your favorite restaurant, can momentarily shift their focus to a positive shared memory. Building on that, Mentors can suggest making a list of couple favorites: favorite board game, TV show, inside joke, pastime, vacation spot, coffee shop.
Focusing on what they appreciate about being a we, even amidst the struggle.
Exactly. When they start talking about favorite shared things, it helps them remember, reconnect with positive aspects, reinforces they are still a team. Simple but effective way to recenter on connection.
A simple way to bring some shared joy back into focus. Okay, and finally, for couples in distress, what about understanding their fundamental approach to the relationship, their mindset?
Yeah, this is deep. What have you been looking for? The idea is everyone brings a certain marriage mindset, expectations, filters through which they view their partner and the relationship. And this hugely impacts the dynamic. They provide a list of like 40 positive and 40 negative descriptive filters. Words like accepting, annoying, caring, controlling, demanding, enthusiastic. Each spouse checks the top 6 filters they tend to use when viewing their partner.
Identifying their perceptual filters. That sounds revealing.
It really can be. They identify the negative filters they use, discuss when they tend to activate those filters. The mentor's role is to help them become aware of these negative patterns and consider how to consciously counter them with a more positive or at least charitable mindset. Asking things like, how could you choose to view this specific negative behavior from your spouse more positively? That kind of reframing can be a potential turning point, shifting their internal perspective, which then changes how they interact.
That's a deep insight into the power of our own perspective.
Wow. It truly is. And it highlights that even in deep distress, couples have agency. They can choose to change their internal landscape.
We have covered such a wealth of ideas, from 51 creative ideas for marriage mentors, really moving from those foundational principles to ideas tailored for couples preparing, those wanting to go from good to great, and those needing significant repair. It's truly an extensive idea box.
It really is. And it emphasizes the power of, well, intentionality, connection, creative approaches in marriage, principles that are valuable whether you're formally mentoring or just applying them in your own relationship. The parrots even encourage mentors to share their own creative ideas on their website, realrelationships.com, which is pretty cool.
Which brings us back to our show's purpose, helping you listening extract the most important nuggets of knowledge, the key insights from sources like this, giving you a shortcut to being well-informed with surprising facts and practical takeaways.
And there is definitely a final thought from this source that I think resonates deeply. It's worth holding on to. We mentioned it earlier. The parents highlighting Bonhoeffer's idea that marriage has a higher dignity and power, placing couples at a post of responsibility toward the world and mankind.
A responsibility to the world through their marriage. That still hit me.
Yeah. It's the idea that beyond just their personal happiness or even raising a family, marriage itself can be viewed as something ordained to serve others. As a team, joining efforts for a purpose larger than just themselves.
That is a significant challenge to the conventional view, isn't it?
It really is. So the provocative thought to leave you with is this. What does it truly mean to view your own marriage, or the marriages you support through mentoring, as something with a potential purpose that extends beyond the couple itself, designed to serve the world as a unified force? What might that actually look like in practice?
A powerful idea to contemplate. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. We encourage you to mull over that thought and perhaps explore some of these ideas further on your own.